it's 7:30. 7:30. What am I saying? 9:07. I'm looking at the seconds and not the minutes. I'm sorry. It's 9:07. Thank you for tuning in this morning. You know, the one thing that I miss the most, I bet you this is true for a lot of people. And gosh, you know, I think dads sometimes are made to be like the lesser of the loving parents. I think moms and dads love their children if they love their children, period.
Yes,
you know?
I agree.
But one thing I miss, this is where I was going with this, is being a dad to my young son. I mean, I love my son. He's 28 now, right? Mm-hmm. Your children are 30-something.
Yeah,
right?
37 and 35.
So, and I'm sure you agree or can relate to this. You miss those days, right?
I do.
It was one of the greatest gifts that I ever will have received. I attribute the gift to God. Mm-hmm. You know, it's the greatest gift to be a dad. It was. For me, it was absolutely the best thing. I can really relate a lot to the subject we're going to talk about, and it is about lovingly and successfully parenting your children, specifically your very young children. Dr. Gloria J. Walther is on the phone. She's the founder of the Walther School, which is a preschool, it sounds like. She taught at UCLA in curriculum development. Boy, those are smart kids going to UCLA.
Yeah.
Season. And classroom management. And she created and taught classes in emergent literacy. Speaking of, but that was a very illiterate thing to say, right? Emergent literacy.
Emergent.
Eye to Eye is her book, The Handbook on Lovingly and Successfully Parenting Your 3 to 5-Year-Old Child. The handbook that didn't come with them. The one you wished you had. Dr. Walther, good morning. Thank you for being on the air with us today.
Good morning, Larry. Good morning, Robin. Thank you so much for inviting me.
It is such a tender memory for me. I'm sure everybody, when our children were really young, I'm guessing most people have those memories and they kind of hold on to them forever because that's all you have at the end is the memory.
Larry, it's so true, and it's my joy to teach children that are 3 to 5. The truth is, of course, that they teach me so much. But as the parent, I'm still connected with parents whose children have now finished college and finished law school and finished all these other grand things, and the children still come back. And as I know these parents over the years, there is a tenderness about this early time that they have with their young children. And I think what kind of happens is you have this, you're pregnant, and then you have this baby, and then this wonderment of how do I connect with the baby, how do I know what they want, and all that, and tousled in with all that fatigue of not sleeping, being concerned, and I don't want to roll on him, and all of that. And then as the years, as the 3-year-old emerges, there's a moment between 2.5 and 3 that the logic kicks in. So when I get a 3-year-old, they're already quite advanced, in my opinion. They've decoded the language. They have learned to stand, learned to walk, learned to run. They are gatherers that are just extraordinarily brilliant gatherers. So they're watching everything and figuring things out. And then they come to me, and I get this child whose logic is in, and then I can say, gee, if you want this is how you can get it. And so we can have all these fabulous discussions. But you're right in that years later, as the children turn to 3rd graders and then 7th graders and then seniors, I still am meeting with the parents, and they're looking at me like, oh, those formative years were so very precious.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I'm listening to what you. I love the expression you said of the logic kicks in. I love that. I never recognized that, to be honest with you, with my own son. But yeah, I can see that in my memory. Looking back, I don't know. I can't pinpoint the time, but it was. And by the way, I think if there is a difference between men and women with babies, I think men kind of shy away from the little brand new newborns. But about that age that you just talked about, that's when we start saying, "Come on, let's go play, let's go do something." And I don't know, there might be a difference right there.
Well, I think so, but I think that's kind of changing because in my school, I've been teaching for 40 years now. I've been in the classroom with 3 to 5-year-olds, and these days I have as many or more fathers dropping off and picking up and being very, very involved. And I would 100% agree. In fact, I was having dinner last night with some friends, and this dad was sitting next to me, and I thought, gee, if you were a seahorse, you could have carried the child as well.
Yeah, but he would have had 100 million others too. I saw that video.
We didn't discuss that part. But there's some real intimate parenting going on with not only the moms but the dads. I think the dads are recognizing this beauty of this intimacy of these early ages, and I think as we become grandparents, that we get another chance at those early formative years with our grandchildren. And
I think that society had a lot to do with that, though, because I was born in 1954, and my dad was always hands-on with me from the time I was born. And I mean, he didn't, there wasn't any of this, oh, moms are better, they love their children more than dads and things like that. But it just seemed through the 70s and the 80s, there was this big, a push by the government or whoever saying that moms are more loving and dads aren't. And I'm so glad that, media and, attorneys and things like that are getting back into that frame of mind that dads love their children.
Yeah, love is love, isn't it?
It is.
It's determined by...
They want hands-on with their kids.
Yeah, just in case my son is listening, I was hands-on when you were little.
Yes, you were.
It was other people's babies I was shying away from. I could play with my nephews and nieces when they were 2 or 2.5 or 3. Mm-hmm. With my own son, I was right there.
No, you were
I was right there with the poopy diapers, everything.
Exactly.
You're right there on the floor with him.
Just so you know, but see, you ladies, you can pick somebody else's brand new baby up and have no problem with that. But a guy, I think, will say, I'll stay away from that brand. I think.
Well, if you're sitting down, Larry.
If I'm sitting down, yeah.
I don't think you're going to toss them around as much.
Dr. Gloria J. Walther is on the phone. Such an honor to have her. We do have to take a little break, Doctor, and I kind of think we've been unfair to the book, but the good news is we still have 15 minutes left to talk about it. The book is called Eye to Eye, so I want to find out who the book is written for and how, of course, people can get the book. And, of course, at the end of the interview, I'll give away the copy that Dr. Walther sent to us. So let's take that little break. We got a weather report to bring to you in a couple of commercial advertisements, and then we'll be right back with Dr. Gloria J. Walther. The book again is called Eye to Eye, and we'll be right back with that after this. This is The Source, WOCA.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. It'll be partly sunny today and pleasant this afternoon with a high of 76 to 80. Partly cloudy skies tonight, lows ranging from 52 in a few inland spots to 58 along the coast. For tomorrow, times of clouds and sun, the high 76 to 80. On Friday, times of clouds and sun and noticeably cooler with highs ranging from the upper 60s in the north to about 75 in the south. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Let's face it, nowadays it can be hard to find American-made products, and that's something that Cabinet Sales of North Florida is well aware of. That's why they're an authorized dealer of Wellborn Cabinetry, family-owned and American-made since 1961. Cabinet Sales of North Florida is your answer for complete turnkey kitchen remodels and whole house cabinetry. Their cabinets are finished with solvent-based enamels for a long-lasting finish that's second to none. Available in an incredible selection of door styles and colors to choose from to turn your dream kitchen into a reality. In-house design and drawing services are available. Come by and see our displays for yourself at the Floors of the Villages, 3935 County Road 216 in Oxford, or Exquisite Design Kitchen and Bath in Bellevue, right across the street from the Bellevue Library. So whether you're looking for bookcases, kitchen, bath, or outdoor kitchen, Cabinet Sales of North Florida is your one-stop source of quality cabinets. For a free estimate, call 352-427-2647. That's 352-427-2647. Cabinet Sales of North Florida.
Experience Christmas at Gaylord Palms, November 15th through January 4th with Ice, featuring the Nutcracker. Relive your favorite scenes from the classic ballet, hand-carved in more than 2 million pounds of ice sculptures and slides. Enjoy a special bonus area, the Frostbite Factory, and watch artisans from Harbin, China carve amazing ice sculptures before your eyes. Your awe-inspiring experience concludes with the wonder of the Nativity in Ice. For tickets and packages, visit christmas@gaylordpalms.com.
Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. right here on The Source, WOCA. Don't miss Planning for a Better and Safer Retirement with your hosts, Francois Cousinet and Julianne Cousinet. They'll be giving you information about your retirement funds and answering your questions with live call-in. So don't miss it, Saturdays from 9 a.m. till 10 a.m. Planning for a Better and Safer Retirement right here on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM and 1370 AM.
News Talk 1370, WOCA invites you to discover your full business potential. News Talk Radio is the perfect environment for your advertising. WOCA's News Talk format pinpoints information-hungry, better educated, high-income adults. So use us to talk to them. Call 732-8000. 732-8000. We're Ocala News Talk Radio. News Talk 1370 WOCA.
All right, thank you for staying with us. Dr. Gloria J. Walther is on the phone, and we're talking about raising children and some of those formative years, 3 to 5 or so. The book that she has written is called Eye to Eye, the Handbook on Lovingly and Successfully Parenting Your 3 to 5-year-old Child. And I'm guessing this isn't just for parents. I'm guessing this is for daycare centers, workers, etc. Am I right, Doctor?
Yes, it's really focused on 3 to 5-year-olds, and the stories come from events that happened at my preschool. I've been teaching for 40 years. I've been in the classroom for 40 years. I'm the director of a school and owner of a school, but I just now, well, I'm stammering.
You lost. I that happens to me too.
Happened. I'm sorry. Fabulous happened.
That's okay.
In the last years, but what happened was this school has now been purchased by a foundation, so it lasts beyond my lifetime. So.
Oh, wow.
Stammering a little bit because it's just happened. It's very special. So when I say it's my school, it's actually the foundation school now, and I want to make sure that's clear. But anyway, I did birth the school with the community's help, and it is about 3 to 5-year-olds here, and many things have happened in 40 years, as you can imagine.
And where are you? Are you in California?
Yeah, in Hollywood, West Hollywood, California.
Oh, okay.
Although I was born in Tampa, I must say, and I come to Sarasota, Florida every year. I love Florida.
Oh, really? Really? I spent some time in Hollywood. I had 5 locks on my door. 5 locks.
How long have you been in Florida?
The landlord told me, lock them, but not all of them. Because, have you ever heard that trick?
No, I don't know that trick.
I grew up in New York. Nobody ever told me to do that. In Hollywood, I was in some area. I don't know if it was considered a bad area. This was 1977. This is a long time ago. Yeah, you lock the first one, the third one, and the fourth one, or whatever. That way, the crook will be locking one while he's unlocking the other one.
Oh, very, very, very slow crook.
One of the points that you bring out in your book is that when children are up to age 5, they have this unwaverable trust in them, that they trust everyone. And that's because when they trust somebody, those people are actually listening to them. But once they start growing up, that trust wanes. And they're not listened to as much. They see the errors of the world.
Yeah. I think it's so critical that when they do learn that people and adults can be trusted, we focus on that a great deal here. Like if I say, gee, it's time to go home now, but I'll save that book for you, I'll put it in their cubby so the next day when they come, it will be there waiting for them. So every way I can think of to help them feel they can trust the environment, they feel safe in the environment. And when you do feel safe and you trust, then you're free to go and learn. And you know, the sky's the limit when you have those things enforced. There was a funny story that happened. I've been doing this for so long where I say to a child, gee, there's no, you can have a turn, but it's going to be tomorrow. Or you can do this, yes, but it's not right now. It's after we play outside. And the other day, one of the children was offering coconut ice cream to one of my other teachers. And I knew she was going to say no because she really hates coconut. But I went running across the room to say, oh, Madeline, I'd love that coconut ice cream. And she turned and looked at me and she goes, we are completely out of coconut ice cream. But you will be the first one tomorrow to get coconut ice cream. And I never understood how good that felt. So all of a sudden, I trust her completely.
Oh, wow.
Tomorrow, when she walks through that door, she's going to give me coconut ice cream. And I don't even want it anymore. I want it tomorrow. And I didn't realize how powerful that was until the next day she walked in and she put her finger up across the room. She put her finger up and she went and put on the same costume that she was wearing, and she got the same coconut ice cream. It's made of wood, vanilla ice cream. Anyway, so she walked over to me and she goes, here is your coconut ice cream. And I realized that is what I've been doing for a lifetime. of telling children something and keeping my word. And when they know that they can trust an adult, they will come to you with questions that are profound and deep and really thoughtful. And so it's critical to be trustworthy when you're dealing with others, whether they be 3 to 5 or 16 or 18 or 27 or 42. I mean, if you are true to your word.
Yeah. And I could listen to you all day. You've got the best voice. You were made for this.
Yes.
You were made for this. Can I tell you a little story on how I handled it when my son was? And if you're listening and you don't really want to hear me talk about Santa Claus, you're going to have to turn it off for a second, especially if you have a little child. I don't want to blow anybody's thoughts about Santa Claus. But anyway, my son was in the car with me when he was little, and he asked me if I believed in Santa Claus. And I never lied to him. I always told him the truth. And this was the moment where, oh, gee, what do I say now to this one? Yeah. So I said, you know what I believe? I believe something happens really amazing this time of year that helps us somehow figure out a way to get enough money to have a Christmas when other months in the year we don't have enough money even for an extra stick of butter.
Yeah.
And you know what? If we want to call that Santa Claus, I think that's a great thing. And so I don't know if he understood how I did a political answer on him at that age, but he seemed to grasp it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I think it was very honest of you, because instead of just saying, no, there's no Santa, or yes, there is a Santa, you actually told him the point. The real value.
Yeah, maybe. I remember thinking oh boy, I don't want to get this one wrong. You know?
Come back to you and say, hey, Pops.
Do you know a lot
of
times when we as adults talk about our favorite teacher, we think maybe to the 4th grade, maybe to high school, or maybe to a music teacher or a coach. You've got students from 3 years old that remember you. You must have had an unbelievable impact on those children.
I thank you so much. It's my biggest honor that they trust and they come back. I had a second grader come back yesterday. I had 4th graders. I have 12-year-olds who want to come and help out in the summer.
Isn't that amazing?
It's really a community that we have built here that just draws people that are really caring about the community and wanting to make a difference in the community, and they just return. So it's kind of the source of love, maybe.
And you have 4 volumes in your series of books.
We do. There are 2 volumes. The first 2 volumes are just straight stories about the school and when the conflict arises and what I did about it. And then the third story is my husband's perspective, which is more of a parent directly, a little bit harder to describe, but it's a different voice, and it's helpful if your child comes running in the room and breaks your grandma's teapot and your response is anger as a parent. Then you would read volume 3, because he helps people revisit disturbing situations and rewrite that situation to where the truth is you love your child so much more than you love that teapot. And so volume 3 is more helping parents deal with that side of things. And then volume 4 returns to the little stories at school where, the children are being really loud. And I say, could you play and have so much joy, this amount of joy, but not so loudly, and discussions of how I get children to understand the importance of that and figure out their own consequences.
The stories that you write these types of stories often can be found in magazines, especially if you're waiting at the doctor's office and you pick up a Reader's Digest or something and you read a story like this. You always want more. You give us more with these books. Yes. So I love these stories. I know we don't have a whole lot of time, but can you share one of your favorite stories with us?
I would love to. The one I was just about to tell you, and I'm glad we have just a minute. So I went into the classroom's all busy and everybody's all busy, and from the other room we hear the screaming, joy, screaming. And I go in there, there's 3 girls, and I say, gee, can you please be more quiet, but don't diminish any of the joy, keep all the joy. And they go, yes we can. I go, what if, I'm so glad, but what if you get loud again? What's the consequence? And they looked at each other, they go, well, they were dressing up. They said, well, if we get loud again, we'll have to put the dresses away, and then we'll play we have to play a different game. I go, well, that's an appropriate consequence. So I left the room, and I came back a few minutes later. It was so loud. They were screaming at their heads. Two of the girls took their costumes off and hung them up and went about their business in another room. And the third girl turned on her heel and looked at me, and she said, my mommy gives me 3 chances.
Oh.
And she was ready, she was ready for battle. And I just looked at her. I got on my knees, and I looked at her in the eye, and I said, listen, Elizabeth, if I gave everybody in the school, 1 chance, then that would be 42 times every day that I would have to say, can you please be more quiet? But if I gave everybody 2 chances, then it would be 84 times every single day that I have to say, please be more quiet. And if I gave everybody 3 chances, it would be 126 times, and bigger and bigger and bigger. And she could see the value and why I didn't want to say that all day. And I said, I'd much prefer to say to you, oh, my, Elizabeth, how did you ever come up with that costume? It's so beautiful. Or, oh, my, Elizabeth, how did you build that building? I've never, ever seen anything like it in the history of the Walther School. What were you thinking? Did you think it first, or did you just start building? And then I said some other things like that, and she just took the costume off and hung it up, so.
If there's anything that underscores the beautiful spirit that you are, Doctor, it's when you said in that story that you said to the children that you wanted to quiet down. You said, I want you to keep your joy, but quiet down. I love the keep your joy part of that story. That is really outstanding, unbelievable. You are awesome. You're an angel on earth. I have a copy of the book Eye to Eye. If you want the copy, call me. I'll give it to you, and it'll be waiting for you. The rest of us have to go buy it. We've got 45 seconds to get this information out. Is it on Amazon?
Go to Amazon.com. You can look for my name, Gloria Walther, or you can go Eye to Eye. And it's Eye to Eye because it's respectful to look at a child directly in the eye and not look down.
Oops, there's that music. Okay, Dr. Gloria Walther.
You guys are beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. What a great interview. Thank you so much for being on our show today.
It's a real pleasure. Good day.
All right, we'll be right back.
Fox News Radio. I'm Chris Foster. Republicans pick up another Senate seat with Dan Sullivan declared the winner in Alaska.
He defeated first-term incumbent Senator Mark Begich, part of a wave in which Republicans picked up 8 seats and regained control of the Senate. The Alaska race was too close to call on election night last week, with Sullivan up by about 8,000 votes, but it became clear on Tuesday when the state started counting about 20,000 absentee and questioned ballots that Begich couldn't overcome Sullivan.
Fox News Radio's Tanya J. Powers, a Louisiana seat's to be decided by a runoff next month. 5 big global banks, including Citibank and J.P. Morgan Chase, fined a total of $3.4 billion for manipulating foreign exchange markets by coordinating trades.
The traders put their own interests ahead of their customers.
Martin Wheatley's in charge of the United Kingdom's Financial Conduct Authority. Fox News, we report. You decide.
Geico RV presents Reflections from the Road.
After a few hours riding in my RV, I get in the zone. It's just me, the road, and the savings I get with Geico RV insurance. There's no more worries, no more 9-to-5 hustle. It's like I'm a caged animal set free. What's that? Is it a grizzly bear? No, it's just me switching to Geico RV insurance.